Hey folks, how's it going? I hope you're well. Welcome to this video, which is mostly I'm going to be moving my freight yard, but I've also rebuilt an old a little engine, BR80, which I built a long time ago, a few years ago. It went to a show, came back, but it came back in pieces, unfortunately. But I've managed to spend some time on it, rebuild it, make it a little bit stronger, hopefully. It's a very delicate mock. It's a tiny little engine, but it's a really good engine, and it was designed by Holger Matthes. If you've never heard of Holger Matthes, I'll put a link down to his website down below, and hopefully the instructions are still there as well for free. If you want to build one of them, it's really good. I would recommend looking around for different pieces, some alternate pieces, because some of them are very expensive. But yeah, my BR80 is working and it's pulling carriages, so you can see that running at the end of the video, along with the stock Emerald Knight, which is the green one with 3 carriages. So that's great. What else? I finished building the Jazz Club, so that is finally built. And I also got hold of the up house and built that, so that's on the layout. But I want to mainly move the freight yard. So the freight yard is going to move from here in the main center table out to the edge. I've got a bunch of sidings, but the points that are being used there, the switch tracks that are being used there, are kind of original 3D printed tracks, and they're pretty old, but the points are just not working properly and bits are breaking off. And normally on a Lego switch track, you can run a train sort of like through the switch track, and the switches are just sort of just spring out the way. These ones don't, and they tend to derail trains. So I'm gonna change that a little bit, and also make some space hopefully for my DunksterBricks boom barrier set. So I'm gonna have a little level crossing there, which is great. So I'll move the freight yard. We'll have a bit of a closer look at the BR80, because it is a really nice engine and I've really enjoyed it. It runs really well, actually. You'll see that, you've seen that already. You'll see it at the end as well. I'll run it round. It's going to go around the sort of outside track, because it copes with that a lot better than the Emerald Knight. But yeah, move the freight yard, have a look at the BR80, and then yeah, we'll look at some trains. Yeah, so when I started this, I thought it was going to be a fairly straightforward lift and shift for some reason, even though it's basically changing. Well, I had to sort of flip it and reverse it basically, so it's not a lift and shift at all. It's now using standard Lego switch tracks as well, which is really nice. The old 3D printed switch tracks I had, which are fairly old, bits are breaking off, they're not working properly, like I said, and it would have been impossible to sort of ballast them or anything like that, so they weren't great for this layout. This setup is going to be much nicer. Now I've expanded over here as well. It was kind of inevitable that it's taking up a lot more table space than it used to, and I'm quite happy with that, but it has meant I've got a very non-standard PC setup now. My dual screen setup, one screen is now sitting on top of a shelf basically, but this is just extra 16 by 16 plates. I got more bright green 16 by 16 plates now, so I've managed to make it look quite good, actually. I think with from that point of view anyway, from the green and the grey. I think that's me exhausted all my dark bluish grey 16 by 16 plates. I had to change a few things just to make sure that the top rails on those yellow posts line up with the other rail on the other side of the track, of the siding. I'm making sure that I'm ballasting everything as well, just to make it look good, so it's as complete as possible. The fact that it's all mills now as well means that the track is a lot more stable, which is really good. And that's I think that's the third rebuild of that terminal building it took, just to get everything lined up. And I need to strengthen the structure of those yellow posts just to give them a bit more reinforcement, but I'll do that at a later date. And there's extra ballast going in, and I've put all the sleepers in as well, which is good. So there's sleepers going in. I need to make sure I complete the rest of the track as well with those. It takes time, and it's not the most exciting part of building this. And that's all the track in pretty much. And then this bit is just getting the boom barrier in, so there's a small level crossing here which fits. I'm glad I've managed to get this in. It's only a single piece of track, but it is good. And it's just sorting out cabling and everything. You can see it all here. And there you go, that's the freight yard moved. There is a big hole in the city now, but that means there's a lot of room for development over there in the center table, so that's good. There's a bit more room for the fairground stuff, and I'll think of some other things to put over there. I do have the DunksterBricks boom barrier in, and it's working really well. I did post a reel earlier, a short on YouTube and a reel on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram or anything, then be sure to head over there and follow me, and also Facebook as well. But yeah, I've swapped over the plates, the 1x10 plate I think it was, that came with the boom barrier set, and I've just put a normal Lego one, white one, just changed it to red and white. I think it looks a bit better than the grey and the yellow and black that I found originally. But yeah, the clutch power is slightly better with, well, the clutch power is better with the Lego as well, which is really good. The freight yard needs a bit more work. It just needs sort of a bit more strengthening and a bit more development, but I'm really happy the way it's turning out. There'll be, yeah, more developments, board building, more stuff like that. So that's really good. Before I go any further, I want to do a shout out to Henry Bowler. Hey Henry, I know you're watching, so shout out to you. Thanks for watching. If you do want a shout out or anything like that, then just put something in the comments below. If you've got any ideas or suggestions for the freight yard or anything like that, then yeah, you can put comments down below as well. And I'm trying to work out what to do with the center of the city. I can either do castle stuff in there, which would be pretty cool. The monorail, I need to put some sort of monorail in there. I want that to go in. How that's going to work, I'm not sure. But I've also got this back corner as well. I need to develop something in there. I'll probably put something raised up so that the trains will go through a tunnel, and then something will go on top of that. I've got Ninjago stuff to do as well, so there's quite a lot of stuff that needs to go in the city, but I just need to build it up now. I do have my extra 16x16 bright green plates now, which is really good, so that'll allow me to do more with mills and everything. I've got more mills plates to build to go through the tunnel. If you watch the trains running, the steam trains, the BR80 and the Emerald Knight, at the end of this video, you'll see I've added a few lights in the tunnel. It's nowhere near complete, but it does add a little bit of light, and it does add, well, yeah, it'll look pretty cool. Hopefully, it did when it was in the old Dunkton, in the old house. So yeah, anyway, that's it for this video, I think. Enjoy the trains running, and yeah, like, subscribe, and you can always join the channel if you want to. You get behind the scenes videos and early access to videos when I post them. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.